very strange to have I never had a thunderstorm on New Year's before. That was my first time.
How interesting.
Very. Yeah, because it's wintertime here, so I don't know why we were having thunderstorms. Hi, Richard. Happy New Year. I feel like I should bring out my horns still. They're somewhere around. Happy New Year. New
Yes,
Year, new possibilities.
yes, that's why I'm here. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. For all of you who are off camera, if you can get on camera, we would love to see your beautiful faces. But if not, drop in the chat. What are you excited for this year? Let us know where you're from. Did I see some? Oh, Sandy, you said you're from Germany, living in Melbourne, Florida. The delay
Gotta
between
say
Melbourne
it.
and Florida.
Gotta say it, yes.
Yeah. Anytime I hear Melbourne, it's automatically Australia. Definitely. San Jose, California. Very nice. Sydney. All of our friends down under. Do you guys say that if you're down under, are we up above? I'm just trying to. I always hear the outback, like down under, the crocodiles. But I never hear anybody say we're up somewhere. Rita, how was your New Year?
That was good.
Were you out partying all night?
Yeah, no. I mean, depends what's party, right? Yeah, we party. Yeah. We played board games, and then we went to actually our first time to our temple, 11:15, and then with
Nice.
our son and daughter-in-law. I mean, they're expecting baby in couple weeks. So
Nice.
yeah, so
Well, if
It
it's
was
in a
different.
couple weeks, that's a good thing. Is it your first
Yeah.
grandbaby?
this is the second one. I have a granddaughter from younger son, and now it's older son having it. Baby.
Nice. That's how it happened for our family. My younger of the two brothers had he was the first one with kids, and the oldest was so late. He was late to the party of children. Welcome everyone. Jessa, Jennifer, Ramel. I'm not going to try to pronounce some names. I want to say Ninip. I don't know why I want to say that, but I could be so wrong on it. Cleveland, Ohio. Very nice. We're not too far. I'm in Pennsylvania. Welcome. Happy New Year's. Is it Kush? Nice. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Sydney at the moment.
From Sydney? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, Carms gets a lot of support from Australia, but we give her support here in the States too. Hello, Lorena, Jennifer. Drop in the chat. What are you guys excited for this year? Would love to know what you guys are excited for this year. I don't know if I'm more excited that we just left 2024 or that I'm just feeling invincible for the new year. I'm not sure. After I take the rest of my vitamins, I'll let you know how invincible I'm feeling. Hit the keynote speaking trail. Okay, Richard. You got some good messages you want to get out?
Well, I certainly do. It's taken me 30 years to work out that and understand it. But from some great experience, I think there's an opportunity to help others through what I've experienced.
Nice, nice. I'm excited to hear that. It's not, it's not easy putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, sharing your story.
Yeah, and it's not all positive. It's not all beer and Skittles, I suppose. Right? So the experience is who we become. I think you need to
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like I know that sound. Happy New Year's, you guys. New year, new possibilities with Carms from the house. I feel like Carms is about to pop up on you guys. Are you ready? Are you ready for Carms? NLP Excel line? I'm ready for Carms. Where's she at? I think we gotta turn cameras on. We want to see more cameras on for her. Radio. Farms Fung.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
New Year.
Wow, it's really great to see you guys. Did you guys all get in okay? Because people were sending me different things on Eventbrite going, I can't find this link.
Oh, good.
You guys made it in, so that's awesome. All right, let me just turn off this little thing on my phone. Oh. Can you guys turn on your camera so I can see you? I want to see all your beautiful faces. I hope you have pens and paper as well, because I really want to dive into this. Oh, new year, new possibilities. So thank you for being here today. I know it is the weekend or Friday night for some of you on the other side of the world. I heard Delia mention, what was it? Do we say up above? We
Yes,
don't. I don't know what that
you guys
sort
are
of
down
thing.
under.
Oh.
I just started wondering.
Yeah. All right, let's kick off. Okay, I am going to share screen with you. Hang on a second. All right, here we go. Share screen. Let's see. Screen. This one. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's begin with not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. That's what we are doing today. We would like some changes, right? We want to make a difference in 2025. So welcome to New Year, New Possibilities. All right, the aim of these 3 days. I can still see people coming into the waiting room. That's okay. We are going to start. They can catch up. All right, so the aim of these 3 days, what we are really here to do, so that you know you're in the right room, is that here to help you unlock your potential, elevate your coaching game, and attract premium client who value results. So that's the big picture here. So hopefully you are here for this. If you are here for some other reason, let us know in the chat. All right, so to make sure that we are all here facing the same goal, you need to make a decision. And that is, if you had clarity of your game plan, would you do it? Got to decide that for yourself, right? In this moment. Is that a yes for you? If you had clarity, and if it's not clarity that you need, what do you need? So I would really love to hear that, because I actually think there's no lazy people or people procrastinating. It's just that we don't have the clarity on the steps that we need to take. So that's what we're here for today. So if you have clarity, would you do it? Let us know in chat. It's like, yes. If it's like, no, I need something else. What is that? Let us know into the chat, because this event is all about you. I care about every single one of you that is here live in the room. So if there's something that we can give you, we will adjust the session for you, right? And if that is a yes for you, then is it in 2025? Is it this year? This year, that if you have the clarity of your game plan, you will do it this year. Because we're here for new year, new possibility. If you're not doing it in 2025, when would you do it, right? This year. So, yes. Still working on listening to the audio. Yeah, I know what Brenda is talking about. She's got some audio training that she's gone through right now. 2025, yes, from Jennifer. Twee, yes. Exactly, yes. All right. So today you have, if you don't already know me or Delia, who's the co-host for today, then, because I think we have some new faces here. Who's here for the first time? Is anyone here for the first time? Let's see. Sort of. Richard's like, sort of, yeah. All right. Yeah, right here, Anna. Yeah, okay. So we've got some people that don't know us at all, which is really cool. I love seeing new faces. Where did you find us? Let us know. Was it in Eventbrite or was it in Facebook? Where did you find us for the new people? I'd love to see where you found us from. Was it from a friend? All right, so today you are spending your time with us. So you're in good hands. So I'm your host. My name is Calms. I've been an accountant for 15 years. Yes, in the corporate world before I'm doing the work that I'm doing now, coaching and an NLP coach. So the common grounds I have with Delia here is that Delia works in impact theory. Do you guys know? Have you guys heard of impact theory? So Delia works at impact theory and she has a She Rises mastermind, which she empowers women. So we both here to serve and empower you on your breaking your limits today, right? If you don't know impact theory, that is ran by Tom Bilyeu. So this guy next to Delia here. So Tom Bilyeu has 4-point-something million subscribers on YouTube. He's probably one of the people that I binge watch his YouTube much earlier in my journey, and I got the chance to meet him. So that's our common grounds. Yeah, so you'll be spending your time with us, and to let you know a bit about my journey for the people that don't know me at all, I went to dig for some old pictures. So I found this. I found this picture in an annual report publicly. No judgment there. I know my hair's a bit crazy back then. So this is a picture I think was taken around 2006. So that's me in this important project back in corporate. And this is an even earlier me when I thought my hair was really cool. But I was pretty poor back then. You could see this like little TV over here. It was like, I had to like buy it secondhand. It was $50 at the time. And when I bought this TV, also negotiated for a free mop bucket. You can see these are like, I didn't even have a real wardrobe back then. There's one of those fabric wardrobe that you'd pull up, right? So yeah, I mean, back then, how many years ago is that? Like almost 2 decades. But yeah, this was almost 2 decades ago. This was a little bit, maybe 15 or so years ago. My maths is getting a bit rusty now. So yeah, so that's me. And then now, I'm this person, mostly this person over here. Doing coaching work. This was one of the media article that was there for the NLP coaching. Yeah. So this is the work I love doing now. And so what I would really love though, is where are you before or where you're at now? And where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? Because I definitely didn't see myself as this version. But with new year, new possibility, if you could do anything, who do you imagine yourself to be? And who do you need to be? So to make this interactive, because I want to engage with you guys, let's jump into this link. Oh, do I have to do it? Maybe I should. Hang on, give me a second. I'm going to share screen with you so that we can jump onto, hang on, let me give you a link. Oh, Delia has a link? Yeah, Delia has a link.
I already dropped it in the chat for them. Yep.
You already dropped
There's
it
a link
into
in
the chat.
Inner.
Great, so I can continue share screening. So if you jump into that, I think you will, or whatever you type is going to pop up on the screen. You can see my screen, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so start writing. Let's see what we got. Who do you need to be to become that person that can attract the premium clients? Because that's what we're in this session for today. And if you're like, maybe just a coach first, or maybe not premium clients first, well, just think of the highest version of yourself, right? The highest version, which is probably aspiring to be a coach. And even if it's not a coach, it might be like from a mentoring perspective, or it might be from like, hey, I just want to earn a new income stream. But who do you need to be to become that person that is attracting the brave. The brave. I'm just reading this braver. Yeah. Who do you need to be? Braver. Cool. To attract the premium clients. Let's see. Type away. Jump on that link. You should be able to click on that link on your phone and then you can see. Instead of me guessing. I've got to give you guys a moment to do that. Confident. Great. What else do we need? Type it away. And you're anonymous here, which is even better, right? And if you see something on here, ooh, they're coming in now. If you see something on here and you're like, that's a good one, type that in as well. So just because it's on there, don't think, oh, I'm not going to type it in because it's on screen. Because if you type it in, it goes bigger and bigger. So if more people think, oh, I need confidence, then do the confidence, then it'll go bigger and bigger. So we can see which are the more important. Ooh, braver. Braver is taking the cake. Okay. Okay. We need to be braver. So whatever you type, I'm going to try and give you more of that during our time. All right. Focus. Oh, that's a good one. Organized, confident. Okay. Oh, I like that more of you jump in. I can see 12 people in here typing away. Oh, confidence is getting bigger. Oh, action taker. Yes. Awesome. Outgoing, risk taking. Oh, alluring. I like that. Oh, that's a good word. Fearless, daring, stepping into doer. Yeah. Dedicated, consistent. Oh, okay. Networker. Oh, that is important. Being a networker. Being awesome. Yes. I think of that all the time. Gee, I'm going to show up awesome. Confident is always a big one. Ah, good. Because we will be talking about that. Oh, networker is getting bigger too. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, let's take a screenshot of what we have there so you guys can remember who you need to be. And then we will make sure we'll cover these. Oh, someone is still typing quickly, right? All right. Maybe I should let Delia do the screenshots.
I already grabbed it.
Oh, you're like already done it. Okay. All right. So cool. Yeah. So let's just have a look at that and just think about that. And I want you to feel it inside you, right? You look across these and go, yeah, if I'm that confident, if I feel confident, if I feel brave, if I'm focused and I'm organized and I'm that action taker, I'm luring, then I'm the person that can achieve that, right? To attract premium clients. Do you need anything else? Sneak it in, right? Drop it in because we will be talking about those things. They will be in my mind. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing this for a moment. So with all of that, right, with all of those things, what is really stopping you? What is really stopping you from being confident, from being brave, from being focused? Right? What's stopping you from doing that right now? Ooh, these are the things that are stopping you, the obstacles, or the things that are unknown. And a lot of people call this like, I'm self-sabotaging, right? Delia, can you remove that person? I'm not sure what's going on there. The end. Yeah, kick them out. There's no inappropriateness here. That is, well, I guess with New Year, New Possibility, you can dream about any wild things that you want as much as you would like to be. But for the purpose of this, premium clients, I don't know, if you have a really wild mind, I guess you could. Maybe keep those things to yourself though. All right, so limiting beliefs. Let's see. All right, so with limiting belief, I'm going to share with you some of mine so you can see what that might look like. I'm just going to share screen with you again. Hopefully you can see that okay. So when I was this person in corporate world, some of my limiting beliefs were these. Because people always ask me, why did you spend like 15 years doing accounting? Like, why did you do that? Because they can't even see how I was that person. So I think for me, staying in corporate for 15 years, firstly, what triggered me to go, okay, now I want to be a coach. I think when I think back, it's like I had no desire to be promoted anymore. So there was a point when I was like really striving to climb that corporate ladder. But I got to a point where I'm like, I don't even want to get promoted. I don't even want that next job. I didn't feel like I was growing anymore. So I'm not sure if these would be the signs for you, but these were just my own signs. So I didn't feel like I was growing anymore in my job. I really started to struggle with my work-life balance in that I was heavily focused on work, over my health, over connections, social life. And when I say it was impacting my health, I was like skipping lunches. I was doing that. Not even like so rushed for even toilet break. It's like I felt like I just didn't even have time to get a drink, to go take that break. And I would just feel really burnt out by the end of the day. And for some reason, I think in certain cultures, the ones that I was in, it's like I felt like I was a team player, like a really good, productive team player when I felt really burnt out. So that there was this weird positive reinforcement of taking on that job that way. So I was working too long of hours for the lifestyle that I ideally want, but I was doing it. And I was kind of proud of it too at the time. That's why I stayed in it. But I found myself, I would kind of drag myself out of bed. Like I didn't really want to get out of bed to do that work. And the money didn't feel worth it anymore. That was a really big thing. The money just did not feel worth that effort anymore. So my limiting beliefs were then, I just felt like I'm not sure what I was doing. If I wanted to be a coach, if I wanted to start a business, how would I even do that? I felt like I was too young and no one would listen to me at that time. Kind of felt like you had to be like closer to your 40s when you had life experiences. I didn't feel like, I had coaching experience at that time, even though I had like all this leadership skills. I wasn't sure how that would transfer across well or not. Then there was like the financial insecurities about that. If I didn't get like a constant stream of income, what would that look like? Then people judging me was a really big one. Like if I quit my real job, then what is that like? Who would listen to me? Like there's so many great people out there already, like Tony Robbins and these really big people. So who's listening to this, like, this little small potato? Who am I to do this? I had like all these doubts, like I'm an introvert. I don't really like being on camera and I sound weird. I like the sound of my voice. And then I think even worse was like the people around me, like even my own brother, like he would be like when I first started and things wasn't really moving yet, he would be like, oh, it'll be interesting to see if you can make it because the market is so saturated, So it was like all of these thoughts. These are the limiting beliefs that I had. So I'm not sure what yours might be, but these are what is limiting you. These are the thoughts from being the great version of you, from being the authentic version of you, from being the version that's like, I can help people. I can make an impact. All these possibilities, all the ideas that you guys have that you want to do, I had all of these. And I don't know if your list is similar or different. So what we're going to do is I want to show you how we're going to get through that. So this is the plan for the next 3 days. So today we're going to be facing our limiting beliefs. I'm going to have some guests come in that also had to face their limiting belief and is doing it now. So that's going to give you different perspective because maybe not everyone's from like a corporate background like I am. So that's going to be really cool. And then day 2, we're going to know that we can learn these new skills, right? The things that you guys wanted, right? The confidence, being brave, being organized, action taking. We know we need to get organized. We know we need to face these things. So let's do it together. So day 1, facing our limiting belief, learning the new skills in day 2. And then 3, we're going to implement those changes and position you as a top coach. So for today, we're focusing on your limiting beliefs. So let's do another poll. What are your limiting beliefs? Dee, do you want to throw that up, the link for them? and then it's going to start popping up. You guys got that? Nobody is in it yet. Is that right? Can anyone get it? Yeah, the code looks right. One person's in there now. They're like, yep, got it, Cars. Okay.
Okay.
What limiting beliefs do you have from becoming the go-to coach in 2025? Failing, not recognized. Fear of failing. Ooh. Oh. Okay, quality of content. Time flexibility, yeah. Not being good enough. Being perfect. That is such a big one of perfectionism. We're going to talk through these. So we'll definitely talk through these and let's see what the bigger ones that pop up and then we can like dig through them more, right? So yeah, if you see ones that are like, yep, that's me too, make sure just type in the same words and then so we can see it come through bigger. All right, how to start. Oh, that was like fun. Okay, failing. Yeah, I gotta say the failing is so hard. The failing was so hard, especially like the more you've invested your time in the current work that you do, right? In your current profession. So me having been an accountant for so long and you climb up this thing, the fall felt so hard. Like the failing, it's like if the whole world, people that know you, your colleagues, see you like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this new thing. Of course you are going to start from the beginning, right? And so starting from the beginning, it feels like failing because you know nothing. Oh, imposter syndrome, so huge. Ability to juggle parenting first time. Yeah, so time seems to be like a common one on different wordings here. With time flexibility, who will listen to me? Money. Criticism. Yeah, criticism is like the judgment that I felt too, right? Limited energy. Yeah, criticism.
22722063.
Someone's reading the code out to join, hey? Yep. The competition is better at it. Ooh, yes. Yes. So here's an interesting thing. When you think about that, it's time to like start breaking those limiting beliefs as well, right? What does that mean? It's like you can start thinking about, is that true? All right. Competition is better. You think about this right now. Like if I go and compare myself to Tony Robbins, it's like, sure, maybe Tony would be better, right? And you go, yeah, of course, Tony's better. However, Tony can't offer this, right? Would Tony spend a whole long weekend with you, right? We can't get close enough to Tony, right? So even though when there's competition that might be better in your mind, you're offering something unique though, that they can't offer. And also people that have been in the game for a long time, they don't remember what it's like being at the beginning. They don't remember the struggle right at the beginning. You think about when you first learned something new and you were really excited about it. Didn't you want to tell everyone when you were early in your journey? You just want to tell everyone when you first discover something. You're so excited to tell people about this. Oh, I learned this new thing and it's this, and you want to share it and you want to get people to do it. After you do it like 1,000 times, well, yeah, you can still make that excitement, but it's not as exciting from right at the beginning, right? So early coaches have a real advantage when you first learn something and you have the super exciting energy. Okay, so it looks pretty much the failing imposter syndrome and criticism is coming through. Okay, so let's take a screenshot of this so we can remember these, so we can focus on it a bit. Okay, all right. So let me reshare screen on my slide deck with you on what happens when you break your limiting belief. Because you saw who I once was, the accountant, and then you saw I was a different version. So what happened in between, right? So I will show you a little bit of my journey. Let me see. Okay, here. So here's my journey. If we rewind back just 3 years ago, there's me. So you probably know that I have like a bunch of books next to me. So I'm a bit of a nerd. So the thing is, like, you want to do things that, because people were talking about time, like not having time. So the idea of starting being a coach or starting earning extra money is that you think about where you spend your time right now. So for me, when I have spare time, I actually just read. Now, you might not do that. You might do something else, right? And because I just read, I'm reading already. Might as well just share it with people that will be interested in that, right? Find my nerdy crowd. So all you want to do is find your crowd, whatever that activity is for you, genuinely in your life, so that you're not spending extra time. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to start this book club to learn and grow together. Who wants in, right? Not many people, right? So this was like February that I announced this thing. And then within 1 month, I picked a book, which was Awaken the Giant Within. This is book club number 1, Awaken the Giant Within. And 7 people were liked my post, right? So this is me with really short hair back then, because I donated my hair for cancer charity thing. And then if you look at the time, it's actually really cool, right? And I would never envisage this. So within that same year, Lisa Bilyeu came in. I think Delia may have had a part to do with that. So I said out loud into the world, that's like, okay, we're reading Lisa Bilyeu's Radical Confidence. And we were just doing that. And somehow, somewhere, Lisa's team called and was like, Lisa can come into your book club. Would you like that? And it's like, that would be amazing. Oh my God, right? So heaps of people like this post, right? So 70 something people like this post. The comment went kind of crazy. It was like 100 people commented on this at this time. And then the most bizarre thing happened, right? And it's like, few months after that, I actually got to meet her in real life. So I flew to the US, and this is me holding her book, and it's like, oh my God. And Lisa was like, what? I didn't know you were going to be here. So there was this dinner. There was 20 something people. I was flying to the US, and I was like, I am not leaving the US until I see Tom and Lisa Bilyeu. And then I somehow found my way into this dinner, which only had 20 something people in there. So if you want something, here's the thing, guys. I think this is the key thing I really want you to take away. There is no way when I start that I will be like, yeah, I'm just going to see Lisa and Tom within like the 1 year, right? Like that's not in my head. Because like, you think about this, like I was just the person that's like binge watching YouTube, right? Impact Theory. Then it's like, okay, I'm just going to read Lisa's book. Then somehow these things happen, but you've got to take the step. And most people want to like know all the steps. Like what someone was saying, they want to be like the perfectionist, right? So it's like, there's no way I could even envisage this thing. So just envisage the kind of person that you want to be, and then somehow the rest will follow, right? So I got to see Lisa, and then in this dinner, I sat next to her, right? Which was breaking my limiting belief once again. So another key thing I want you to get from here was like, at this dinner, imagine everyone is talking, right? So 20 something of us in this room, everyone is chatting, and I'm talking to new people. And normally I would like to be really polite. I'm talking to this person, and then it was like, ding, 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 we're about to sit down for dinner. and everyone's starting to sit, and Lisa was on the other side. And prior to the dinner, I bumped into Lisa when Tom was speaking on stage. And Lisa was like, oh my God, I thought I was in Australia for a moment. Like, comes. And then she's like, hey, let's sit together at, like, because I went, I'll see you at dinner tonight. She's like, what? And then she's like, okay, let's sit together at dinner tonight. And because she mentioned that, we end up locking eyes during this moment. And there was a spare seat next to Lisa. And I said to my person next to me, I'm like, I'm really sorry, I gotta go. So this is the critical moment, right? There are these sliding door moments when you gotta remember, what are you here for? I was like, holy shit, I'm here in the US for dinner. I'm here for Tom and Lisa, not for anyone else. Not that I don't like them. I do like the people. I want to meet them. But sitting next to Lisa was way more important, right? So you got to get your priority right when the time matters. Remember, new year, new opportunity. So when opportunity arrives, you got to take it in that moment. You can't think about it. It's like there. It's like there, right? So I'm like, Lisa, I actually did this. I was like, Lisa, save me that seat. I'm coming around. Right? So then I walk around to the table, and then I sat next to Lisa, and then we had like this great conversation. And she was like, oh, how did you get that many people? Because we did a session together. She's like, how did you get that many people in the room? And we were talking about this. And she's like, what are you doing with your book club? And she started making me question about my book club. And she's like, what are you doing about that anyway? I can help you with that. And then she gives me her phone number. She's like, yeah, let's talk more later. And then that's how this next event happened. So look at the timeline. So 1 year after, Lisa was relaunching her book. So it went from the white version to the pink version. And I have not texted Lisa this whole time, right? What am I going to do? Randomly text her? No, I'm not going to do that. So I was just like, maybe I should just ask Lisa if she wants to come to round 2 for book club, right? Hi, Lisa. What would you like to do? I just saw you're launching this pink version of Radical Confidence. Would you like to do round 2 Q&A? And she's like, fucking let's go, homie. So that's how it happened. And so, you know, with new year, new opportunities of how things get connected, that's how it connects, right? So then Lisa came in, and then we have all of these, and some of you guys are there. I remember some of these happy faces of you guys being here. That's how all of this began, right? And that's what it would happen for you when you decide that you will become a coach. You want to be the kind of coach that is attracting, whether that's attracting premium clients or whether that's attracting like the thought leaders and people that you want to get close to. It's all possible. I want you to see it is literally that possible. Look at this little calms over here, right? A few years ago when nobody was there. So, I want you to start thinking about the person that you said you wanted to be, the person that needs to be more confident, more brave, right? All of those things that you said. And then the limiting beliefs that you need to shed, right? Because in a moment, today, we're going to work through those limiting beliefs together. So what I want you to do, I think our guest is going to come in really soon. I've got some special guest that's coming in. Delia, can you let me know when you see our special guest come in? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, just to let you guys know how far you can take this, for the people that don't know me or haven't been to my other event, what are the other things that happen? So other than the Lisa thing, right, that happened for me, what else happened after that, right? Other things that happened that was like, from Lisa's event, she was talking to me about Jay Shetty's book. So I'm like, then Jay Shetty was on my mind. So then I ended up having like this, I flew to the US and I ended up having lunch with Jay Shetty. And then at Jay Shetty's show, I then bumped into Lois house. Then I went up to Lois and go, hey, do you want to come in to do this event with me? And he did. So then we ran an event with Lois, which was crazy. So this was back in March 2023. And so this was the Facebook post I could find where I did like a 2023 highlight thing. And so in 2023, I was really focusing on connection. So you might want to do that. right? In 2025, are you attracting premium clients? If you're doing that, are you focusing on prosperity? Now, some of you guys also wrote like you need networking skills, right? So maybe pick a theme that you want to focus on, because what I did was like in 2023, I was focusing on connection. And you can see that my post in December 23 was then about this, because that was the thing I was focusing on. So these were the cool people of the connections that meant a lot to me. You might recognize some of these people. So I was like, hey, I got to have a dinner with David Goggins. So that's Lisa and Tom, which was really cool for me. I got to have a lunch with Obama at Jay Shetty show. Also bumped into a relationship guy. Do you guys know him? Matthew Hussey. I met Gabby Bernstein, Evan Carmichael. This is Siri Lindley, which is Tony Robbins' stage speaker. She came in twice with us. So when you focus on what you want, things will happen. So new year, new possibilities. What are you guys focusing on? Think about that person that you want to be. I would have no idea I would meet these people. When you focus on the thing you want, on who you want to become, which is like, I was like, oh, I want to become a coach that is really well connected to people in the space. I want to know the thought leaders that are in the space, people that I listen to. So this is about the time I'm spending currently. Who am I tuning into in podcasts? Who am I looking up in IG? When I'm in my social account, who are the messages that means a lot to me? All right. Oh, I see a special guest.
Yes.
So, okay. So let's jump into our special guest.
Farms, I feel like the special guest is weird.
Is it?
We keep getting spammed by this person.
Oh,
with this-
is it?
I just kicked out a shakalaka something. Oh, it's a real special guest. I'm sorry. It's our real one. I was getting paranoid. I'm sorry. Hi, Rosa.
Rosa is here? Can you pin Rosa?
She came in as special guest.
Can you pin
Who would've
Rosa with
thought
me?
it? Yes.
Find her.
I'm over here like paranoid as hell right now.
How is
Where's
that
Rosa?
possible?
Oh, there she is.
Hi, beautiful.
Oh,
Hello.
maybe you
Hi.
can change her name to her real name.
I
Delia,
don't
can you
know
change her name?
why this.
Um,
I just used the link that you sent.
Yeah, I know. I put it in there. Welcome. So we have Rosa Medina
Hello.
here. She's very special. I think you're gonna get a lot of insight from her. So I wanted to bring her up. Why? Because Rosa has an interesting journey. So Rosa, we are just talking about limiting belief. So I think it would be really cool for you to share with them from when I met you and you were doing you had an idea for business at the time. So you had some limiting beliefs that were holding you back. And now you're a funnel builder, which is radically different than what you initially thought. Can you take us through that journey kind of in a nutshell, and what the beliefs you once held and what you held now? Now, to take it one more step, Rosa is really awesome because just last year, she was doing funnel building so much that if you guys know, one of the biggest company on funnel building is Russell Brunson. And Rosa actually ranked all the way up to #1 leadership board and got to meet him as well. So she also did this thing where she's like meeting the person that she looks up to. So Rosa, take it away.
Hello. Dude, it's been such a nice journey. Let me tell you, like when I met Carms, I was struggling after pandemic, because imagine this. We had a drink. I was working with the government. Then I said, okay, that's it. I left working for the government, and then I started my own business, and I got a grant to go into China to present this drink, golden milk, coconut, almond, whatever, right? So I went in there, and it was China, November 5th, 2019. I mean, you can imagine the disaster that was, right? Honestly, I wish that's when I met Carms. because at that time I was doing everything I could because I had 20,000 pieces that I had to sell and I had no idea how. My partner was the one that she was supposed to be selling them. And all of her plans just got screwed up because of COVID and stuff. But anyway, so I met her like a year after or year and a half after that or something. And we just had the drink spoiled. So, the due date was passed. So I was like, okay, do I want to invest again to do it all over again? Or like, what do I do? Then Carm's event comes over and she's like, I had a friend and they were like, no, like, it's funny because I was doing funnels for that business from 2020 till now. I've been doing funnels and I was trying to make a best funnel and trying to sell the things, and we made it, but we couldn't export the drink. It was a disaster. I mean, it was really bad. It was a disaster. So, anyways, like I'm coming from that place of, oh my God, I have like 2 years of the salary that I had into the government invested in this from a bank loan, and I totally lost all of it. So I was in this really, really bad place. Then this one day, my kids come along and we go do everything that we want. And my kids were like, okay, so we did homework, we did exercise. We go into the 7-Eleven. The kids were saying like, hey, can I get this? And I had zero money. I had like $50 in my account. I'm like, no, I can't afford it, and it was bad. It was really bad time. That's when I met Carms, when I was totally broke. And then I go into this event, and then she's saying, yeah, this is what you have to do. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, right? And I was doing all of those things, and I was thinking, okay, this may work, this may not work, this may work, So I was like picking and choosing which parts I actually wanted to do. And the truth is, I didn't actually do the whole thing. I wish I did. But then she was like so insistent into the event, like, you have to do this and this and this. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do it so that, this doesn't work because this is Mexico. I mean, no one is actually going to buy it this way. And this is Mexico. And the whole thing is different. And there's no way this is going to, I'm just going to do it so that you can shut up and realize this doesn't work in Mexico. And guess what? That is the moment that I turned the whole thing around, because that's the moment when I started my funnel builder business. And oh my God, I mean, like from that moment up, everything has been crazy. Imagine this, when I was working for the government, I had this salary, right? Whatever salary you want. And I will have to drop my kids at 7:00 at the school. I'll pick them up at 6 in the afternoon. I mean, they will spend the whole day in there so that I could work and I could afford this private college or anything. And just so that you understand how things just changed radically in the last 2 years. When I was working for the government, the salary that I had, it was barely enough for us like to eat or like anything like that. Like we didn't really had any kind of trips or buying new clothes or anything like that. It was at the bare minimum with my salary and my husband's, because we are the two of us. So, and I was working really late. I will come back home and start doing chores into the house. So I'll pick up the kids at 6, come back at the house, start like cleaning, doing chores, making dinner, whatever. I think I went to bed like 1:00 in the morning, 3 times a week, because I needed kids go to bed so I can clean up the house. It was a mess. We couldn't afford anything. And now, I mean, just December, last month, I had what it was like 6 months of that salary that I used to have, just December. I mean, how would your life will change a lot when you have 6 times the income, And you know what the biggest thing that I just realized is most of your troubles, most of your problems, they're just going to shrink. Because when you have the money to just pay for it, and you don't have to spend that mental bandwidth of, do I want to buy this or that because I can't afford both? And once you actually can afford both, it's like, oh, sure, whatever, I'll use this one. And then the other one, if this one doesn't work, I'll just get the other one. I mean, it's not that big of a deal anymore. And mentally wise, that is huge. And same thing with the problems. Like a couple of years ago, when I was just before I left my job at the government, I paid a company to clean up the steps of my house because they are from stone or whatever. And they made it worse. I mean, the color, it ended up being nice, but they made it worse. So now the stone was, they kind of overdid it, the scrubbing. So the thing where it was, I don't know the word in English, but you will step on it and some little pieces will break on it. And I was so mad. And I remember I was like so mad and so hung up and trying to go to these people like, hey, you have to do something about it because the damage that you're doing to the floor of my house. And I went to the government, I reported them. I mean, it was the whole thing, And now if I had that same problem, I'll say, just go pay for someone else to do it. And then that's it. Like the level of the troubles that you go through when you do have a little bit more cash. And I'm not even saying, I mean, I'm not rich by any stretch, I'm just in a place where life is kind of cheap and I do very good now. And that is something that I didn't actually see coming when I started all of this. The only thing that I wanted was more time with my kids. Now I pick my kids at 2. They are here. Sometimes they're right here into the TV, the living room, and they're playing, and I can just work in here with these little things. So I don't actually listen that much into their playing or whatever, but I can see them, they're by my side. And when the little kid last year, he graduated from kindergarten. So it was when they finished up school, one day until the graduation, the next day it was the festival, the next day it was the church mass and stuff. So it was like 4 days in a row, and I was able to attend all of them and be with my kids through all of those events. And some other moms in the chat, they were like, oh my God, like I'm gonna get kicked out from, I'm gonna get laid off if I still like go and take all of those days or whatever. And some activities, there's like 1 or 2 parents. There's this one time that we were supposed to go into a soccer field and it was a tournament, all parents plus all the kids. I was the only parent there, like I have the time. The night before I did work until very late. So I was taking the day off and I will be able to go and attend. But I honestly, I just did the whole thing because I wanted the time with my kids. I wanted to have the flexibility. The time flexibility is just amazing. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been dedicating very limited time into the business and things are still running, I have a couple of people now helping me. So things are actually going really, really good. And the starting point, it was Carm's event. I mean, that is the moment when I said, okay, I'm going to do this just so that you shut up and so that you understand this doesn't work because this is Mexico. First pitch, I go out there with hair model. I sold a lot of money. I'm like, okay, that's it. Let's try. So it's been amazing ever since.
That was so funny
We
when you
went and and I told Carms like, hey, I hate you because I didn't know you before that, like if I had met her when I started the drink, then I'll probably be in a different place. But anyways, and then last year we were able to go to Disneyland. I was able to afford going into Boise. I was picked up by Russell Brunson and I went there with him. I'm going to Vegas in February. So we are going, actually next month, I'm going to Cancun for a week. And after that, I'm going to Vegas. So I'm able to afford this basically because of the business. So things are going good and I'm happy about it.
So amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Does anyone have any quick question? If so, drop it into the chat. We can quickly ask Rosa because we've got our next special guest that is also coming in. I'm really looking forward to meeting Rosa. So for those of you that was putting into the wondering what link that was, so it's actually, we're going to an event called Funnel Hacking Live. So it's ClickFunnels. So I get to see Rosa in person because I'll be flying over to Vegas as well.
After 3 years, has it been 3 years now?
I think so, Rosa. Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 years or so. Yeah,
Can't wait to
yeah.
meet
My
you.
whole life has turned around since then. Yeah, and I still hate you for not knowing you before. I should have met you like a year ahead of time. Damn it. That would have saved me like a lot of headaches. But yeah, I
Yeah.
guess
Like,
there's a
yeah, so
reason.
and I think that's like one of the thing, right? As an accountant, it's like I would never go in debt or go into red, is what we would say, right? And I think that's one of the biggest fear for a lot of people not starting their business. Which is, but I love that Rosa took a chance though. Like she actually had the confidence, like I'll take a chance, right? Which is really cool. But she bought I think the downside sometimes of having the courage is like I'll give this thing a go, but bought so much stock. And they were physical stock,
Yeah.
which cost a lot of money, storage space, and then being expired, and then you can't do much about that. Like that's the
We had
learning.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like I'm not really afraid of investing and working a lot. But before I met you, I mean, I tried my first business in 2009 and didn't work. And the worst thing is, it was at H1N1. It was kind of like COVID, the previous COVID. That got me too. But this time, I was older and I had kids, and I'm like, damn it, I'm not just gonna throw the towel again. So I gotta do something. So basically, what I did is what I learned so that I could be able to sell the drink. I couldn't sell it because I was well, COVID and everything. It was bad, but all of that knowledge helped me into just reaching out into some other companies and start doing their funnels and their Facebook ads. And I've been doing really good with Facebook ads. So that's the thing that just whatever I learned, I just pivot, didn't actually throw everything away.
I love that.
But I
The
did
pivoting,
want
guys.
to.
So
Yeah,
for everyone
but I
else, the learning for you is the pivot. So take her learning so that you don't lose money up front, right?
yeah. If
And
that money I would have used it differently, the whole
yeah.
thing would have been different.
And the good thing about coaching is that it's a service. So you don't have to put capital up front. You're actually teaching someone the knowledge that you have. And I think that's the thing that holds people. One of the things that hold people back is like, oh, business is going to cost a lot of money. Yeah, if you kind of did what Rosa did, like you invested capital up front.
Yeah,
But if you
invested
do
a
a
lot.
service, which is what she does now, which is selling, or I'll help people build websites. So if people's not familiar with the term, like funnel building is like building landing pages. That's like a one pager that's selling an offer. So she does that now and helping people with Facebook ads. So if you don't like tech, Rosa is probably someone you would want to hit up. Thank you so much for jumping in with that insight. It's awesome to hear from you. And I
Okay.
look forward to
Yeah.
seeing you.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna see you in like a month and a half.
Yes.
See you in Vegas.
Talk to us soon. Thanks, Rosa.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. How was that for you guys? Was that cool? Sonia said, love it. That's what you're planning to do this year. Cool. All right. So without further ado, because that was fun, right? So let's keep it rolling, giving you a different perspective. Another great person that I have met is Autumn Wilson. She is one of the most authentic people I have met on this journey. She's literally vibing with the same energy. I'm like, every time we talk about something, it's like, it's not authentic. Don't do this. Even if it's for the money, we're not going to do this thing. She is so big on this. And I just love what she does. She's a social media manager. So if that's the thing that is holding you back and you don't like doing that, she is the kind of person you will go to, because she not only knows the content well and how to put you up front for your service, but a lot of the time she's writing things for you. You don't really have to show up, and she's doing the scripts for you. So makes your video really easy. So without further ado, Autumn, let's hear from her. What I would love Autumn to share actually is limiting beliefs. So we're talking about limiting belief, Autumn. So day one, what were some of the limiting beliefs that you held? Because actually, I didn't even know what you were doing prior to you doing your business. How did you decide to like just be your own boss?
Yeah, I was a little all over the place. I took a few different positions. I was in radio broadcasting for a while. That was kind of my training where I went to school for. And then I ended up in like our local chamber of commerce, which was like economic development. And then I ended up in a nonprofit, giving money away to local businesses, which was a delightful job. But we also did like some business consulting. But social media had always kind of been a part of the job that I had done, and I'd always been super fascinated with it. And I dove deep into the learning when I was at the Chamber of Commerce. I was the manager there, and I was trying to garner more attention and kind of get us up out of the weeds. And social media ended up being the thing that kind of worked. And I just was obsessed about learning about it. And that obsession turned into like a love for it. And then me being able to like share it with other people and then seeing them succeed with what also worked for me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like watching them succeed was just unbelievable. So I went through a complicated period, and we can talk about that if we want, but we may not have time for that. That's okay. But I went through a complicated period where I was very much second guessing my life's purpose. Like I was in a place where I didn't know what I was doing and why anymore. And COVID had a lot to do with that. I think a lot of people can probably resonate with that. Was the feeling of like, oh, what's happening in the world? What is my role in it? And, you know, all that sort of stuff. So that was definitely a piece of it. So that was kind of the big thing that shifted for me. And I needed to get away from working for other people. I learned that I'm just really not good at having somebody tell me what to do. I don't like people telling me what to do. So that's what kind of put me over the edge and into entrepreneurship. And I took a bit of a leap, and I basically went from this is an idea to I'm doing this in like 3 months. And it was just like, boom, it needs to happen. So when it comes to limiting beliefs, I don't know, actually, I know I didn't know what they were in the beginning. I think the one thing that I was kind of like on the fence about was I didn't really know if I had what it took to run a business. People my whole life had told me like, oh, you should be an entrepreneur. You should be an entrepreneur. And I always said, it's going to take over my life. That's not the kind of person I want to be. I couldn't see any other entrepreneurs, any other female entrepreneurs who had the life that I wanted. So I just didn't see myself in that. So I just always kind of pushed it aside. But then it was a training session that I was in. It was like a virtual event that I went to about social media marketing. And I had just kind of started ruminating with the idea. So I had asked one of the speakers, I had said, you know, this is kind of what I'm thinking. What would you recommend I do? Do you have any advice for me? And she said, starting a business is the fastest way to get to know yourself and become the person you're meant to be. And I was like, whoa. Okay, I want that. Like, I want to figure out what that is. Like, I want to figure out what I'm made of. I want to figure out what I can do. And so that kind of gave me the initial permission to just say, like, I may not necessarily have all the answers. I may not know everything, but I'm sure as heck gonna try. And why not? I mean, what else have I got to lose? I was in a unique position in my life. So I definitely had the freedom to be able to do that, luckily, and I had the support to be able to do it. But it was kind of the push that I needed to say, like, this is something that's going to be good for you. And so I didn't know at the time it was a limiting belief, but it was.
I really agree with that. What you said there, like, that is so key. Like, starting a business is, well, I'm not sure if I got your quote right. So was it starting a business is the fastest way to figure out who you want to be?
Yeah, and figure out what you're capable of. But yes,
what you're capable of. Great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what you capable? Why? I agree with you, but I think people probably want to know why. What did you figure out?
Well, because entrepreneurship is so unique in the sense that it's a very solo journey, but everyone's going through it together. Like, it's when they say like it's lonely at the top, or it's because you're like, you're going through all of this on your own. It's like the buck stops with you. You are everything. So it's the fastest way to know what you're capable of, because it's like, okay, well, when you get faced with a deadline, you learn, okay, am I a procrastinator? Or what stops me? Or am I really good at hitting deadlines? Or, when do I work best, right? Like, we're always originally taught, like, oh, we work a 9 to 5. This is what we do. This is how we work. generally in a lot of jobs that you have, someone else is kind of writing the story for you and telling you these are the hours you work, this is the way that you work, these are the computers that we use, this is the software that we use, this is the way that we work, these are how we hold meetings. So someone else is usually dictating that for you. But when in entrepreneurship, it's all on you. You get to decide when you have the meetings. You get to decide when you work and when you don't work, and when you take time off or when you work overtime, and all of this sort of thing. So you start learning a lot about yourself. I learned that I don't like working in the traditional kind of 9 to 5 sense, but I need a little bit more structure. I learned that I'm more productive in the morning, so I front load my days and then have really easy, lazy afternoons. You know, I learned the different cycle of the month. Like there are certain weeks where I'm going to be more productive than others. I learned different habits that I need to do in order to keep me productive. And so all of those little things that you just kind of learn about yourself, it's just the fastest way to get to know you, because you're it. There's no one helping you. There is no one else that is there to write that email or write the check or make the money or talk to the client. It is like, it is you. And so you really just end up learning, all right, what am I made of? What can I do? And it's invigorating and it's terrifying and it's exciting and it's all of the things.
Yeah, we get to find out all our flaws and our strengths.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's important to, like, looking back, and if like anyone who's starting at the beginning of that journey, to know you're kind of going in it without judgment. Like, I think some of the mistakes I made in the beginning was holding on too strongly to what other people were telling me, in the sense that it's like I was taking it as gospel, as like, that's what I need to do. Not, this is somebody else's experience, I'm going to learn and try, understanding that it may not work for me, but it may work for me. Right. So it's like, I did a lot of things in the beginning that was like, well, so-and-so told me I need to do this, so this is the way I'm going to do it. And then I would fight with myself to try to do it, but it wasn't authentic to me and how I work. So it didn't work. Or maybe I needed to tweak it a little bit just to fit my style a little bit more. So that was kind of like approaching it from a sense of non-judgment, as being like, I'm going to figure out what I'm made of, what I can do, what I'm capable of, and not be judgmental about it, right? Like, some people don't like working in the mornings. Like, I know lots of entrepreneurs who don't take meetings until 3 o'clock in the afternoon because they want to sit in their pajamas until then. That's cool. Like, no one says that there's there's a million different ways to run a successful business. So going in it, just being like, this is going to be a learning experience for me to get to know myself, no judgment, and just learn. And it's, you know, even if those moments were like, okay, I didn't hit that deadline. Why? I'm not judging myself, but I'm just learning. Why didn't I do that? What can I do differently next time? Like, let's just make this a giant experience.
I love what you shared there. So it'll just be like an example. It's like, if you read something like, okay, you need to join the 5 a.m. club because that's what successful people do, Autumn is saying like, don't take that as a gospel, but it's like, maybe I'm just not a morning person and I work better in a different day. So that's really cool, the no judgment thing. Thank you. One of the biggest thing these guys had was like imposter syndrome. How did you get past it, and the fear of failing?
I have not. I haven't. Does anyone get over imposter syndrome? If they have, someone needs to give me the magic goose egg. I don't know what it is. I think it's always going to be there. And again, that's another thing that I think I've learned to lean into, is like those feelings. Not to kind of, it's hard to explain. I learned this in mindfulness, where the more you try to resist something, the more that it persists. So it's like with imposter syndrome, it's like the more I'm kind of like, I don't have it, I'm fine, I'm great, and this is great. It's just gonna get worse. Like, it's just gonna, but to be able to say like, okay, I have imposter syndrome, I feel like I'm not necessarily worthy of this. I feel it's there, but I'm gonna move ahead anyway. Because let's just see. Again, it's like an experiment. You're just like, okay, I understand that it's there. I recognize that it's there, but I'm going to move forward anyway, because what else is there to do to let it stop me? And then I just stay where I am and then I stay stuck. It's like, well, that's not fun. I don't want that at all. Right? So what if I just allow it to be there, move forward, and then all of a sudden you realize 6 months down the road, a year down the road, oh, that imposter syndrome about that thing isn't there anymore because I moved forward, I did it, and I accomplished it, right?
Yes.
So I think there's imposter syndrome that can come in different aspects in different ways. I don't think it's necessarily like an overarching thing. I think there's, I have imposter syndrome about sales, for example. I feel like I'm terrible at sales. Every time I'm in a sales call, I get sweaty, I get uncomfortable. It's just not my scene. I'm like, why would they want to work with me? I don't know why they're here. This is like, it's just like this complete just, right? But it's like, I just keep doing it because it's like, I'm gonna figure it out one of these days. And I look at the past successes to say, like, look at all of these clients I've worked with, look at all these people I've gotten results for, look at all these testimonials I've received from people. That's my proof. It's not the voice in my head that's telling me I'm not good enough. It's the proof is in the pudding. It's like, I've done it, so I'm going to do it again, and I'm just going to keep getting better at it. So I don't think it's so much as like being like, it needs to go away. I'm like, I think imposter syndrome is always going to be there in one form or another.
That's really cool. Actually, I've seen that many times with Autumn. She'll tell us like, oh, I'm feeling this way. But then like the following week or the month, it's like she's taken action. That's the difference, right? And early on when we did a poll, a lot of people were like, oh, I need more action taking. It's like, I think what you do really well is like, yeah, you might feel that, but you shorten the time. Like you don't stop there. And I love that you said, yeah, you just move forward. So Autumn, do you remember how we did that instant breakthrough session? Yeah. Yeah. So these guys are going to experience that, a form of that today. So it's going to be a similar process, but we're going to do it on their limiting belief, and we're going to do it as a group. And then, so if those people that haven't seen that or done anything like that, which is like a timeline work where you go back to a specific time of when you had, for you, it was emotion, but for them, it's going to be their limiting belief. What advice would you have for them to come into this experience they're about to?
Oh my God. I'm getting just so emotional thinking about it, because like in such a good way, because it was just one of the best, most amazing experiences ever. And I will forever be in your debt for doing that for me. I would say don't have any expectations. Just go in with a completely open mind. And I think that was a great part about you, Carms, is like, I think I even asked you probably a million questions ahead of time. I was like, what should I expect? What should I do? Should I have notes? Blah, blah, blah. Like I was asking all these questions of like, well, I need to prepare. I'm a big prepared person. That's just that's how I operate. And you were like, just show up. Just show up. And I was like, ugh. So I was so uncomfortable about it because I was like, I don't know what this is. I haven't done any research. I haven't looked it up. I have no idea what I'm going into. And that was the best way for me to approach it, because it allowed me to be open to whatever came through. And so that's what I would just be open to anything, and knowing that, especially if you're addressing limiting beliefs, I think it's important to understand, to come at it with, in mindfulness, we call it the beginner's mind. But it's essentially like coming at it from a perspective of, I don't know. I don't know. Like, what if this was the very first time that I was experiencing this? How would I, you would go in with a completely open mind, right? And so there's something really beautiful about having that beginner's mind, where you just go in and say like, I don't know everything there is to know about this. And so I want to learn something new, and I'm just going to be open to whatever that is. Maybe it's wonderful, maybe it's crap, but either way, I'm going to learn something, and it's going to be a good experience.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say, is just have zero expectations and just let yourself be however you need to be.
Awesome. Thank you so much for jumping in, Autumn. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for everything that you do. And I am so excited for everyone that's here today, and so excited that you're learning from Carms, because I can guarantee you that your life will not be the same after this event with her. You will just be on cloud 9 and just ready to soar. So I wish everybody the best of luck, and thank you so much, Carms.
Thank you. Let's catch up soon. Bye. Right. How was that? Did you guys enjoy this? Are you guys enjoying the special guest? Yeah, I can see that. That's fun. Okay, so we're about to dive into removing your limiting belief. Let's quickly, if you were in the last event here, we did an event on 2025 Breakthrough, and we actually did a one-on-one limiting belief removal with Sandy. I think Sandy is somewhere here. Delia, can you see Sandy? If you can maybe try and find her. Let's just talk to her for a couple of minutes before we dive in, because I want to just follow up on her journey. I haven't had a chance to talk to her since what happened. Sandy, we were doing limiting belief on removing the money blocks that you had. What's happened since then? How are you feeling?
Yes. So basically, before the session, I had a lot of limiting beliefs or a lot of scarcity around money, right? Like you have to work hard to earn money and you have to work even harder to make more money and things like that. So I used to spend a lot of energy just to worry about money. And well, after Carms did her magic and removed that limiting or a whole bunch of them, yeah, I immediately felt a lot lighter, like a weight has lifted. But I have to say it continues to feel that way. Like I feel a lot lighter. I feel like a lot of the background noise has been tuned out. You know, like I feel like there was always this fear, the worrying, the constant thought in the back of my mind, you know, about money. And it's gone. So it's just, and it's like you would think, oh, you know, maybe it was just the holidays, you know, there wasn't anything going on. But no, let me tell you, last Saturday we were actually faced with like a health challenge and a bit of a financial crisis. And so it really got put to the test, and I was just calm. Like I would have, usually I would, you know, spiral and I would be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And what are we going to do? You know, but this time it didn't even come up, you know, like I was calm, I was focused, I was able to be there, you know, for my husband, for my family. And I was able to just focus on solutions, like take my energy and focus it where it needed to be, you know, instead of like worrying and reminiscing and just kind of being all flustered about it.
That's really cool.
And so it was like so powerful. Like I can just I can only tell you people to stay here and do it, because it's really magic.
Yeah,
Yes.
It does feel a bit like that magical feeling. I swear the magic is inside you guys, though. I'm just the middle person helping you get to the door. You guys open the door.
I know you're doing the work, of course, but like it really does feel like, honestly, how much time have I spent worrying about this? How much time, how much energy have I lost just constantly in the background, you know, worrying about these things, like worrying about money. And now I'm like, oh, I got energy, I got focus. I can focus on the really important things. I can focus on my challenge, my upcoming challenge.
Yes, your upcoming challenge. So
my work.
just very quickly, what's the upcoming? I just want to know, just out of curiosity, because obviously when you remove these limiting beliefs that you have, then you have the energy and you can show up for yourself and create the thing you want. So for you, what's the challenge coming up?
Well, as you know, I have a mindful beginnings program. It's about how to get started with mindfulness. And my challenge is about reconnecting with yourself, which is basically the first part of my program. And I want to, you know, provide some quality, some insights, and help people. Just after the holidays, I figured, you know, a lot of things, a lot of stress going on. So I wanted to run the challenge to help people out.
Beautiful. All right. So if that is something you guys are looking for, reinventing yourself, then look up Sandy. I'm sure you will see information on her Facebook or IG. All right, cool. Thank you so much, Sandy. All right, guys, we are going to dive in for a group breakthrough. Would you guys like that? A group breakthrough? Group breakthrough? All right, so to prepare us for the group breakthrough, are you guys, for the people that it'll be really cool if I can see you, because so actually it's really good if you guys can kind of see each other. You can sync up more in your energy with each other. It's always cool to do that, especially if you want to be a premium coach, right? Why are you hiding? You cannot hide if you want to be a premium coach. You've got to show up to the world. And so this is a great time to be practicing how to show up to the world. And some of you guys wrote like lack of energy. Well, you want to vibrate at the high energy. So if we're hiding, if we're like thinking about things on our own, then we end up being in a low vibration, right? So what I want you to do before we dive into this group thing, firstly, we're almost at my 10:30 mark, so we might run overtime a little. Is everyone good with running overtime? Because once we start, yeah, okay. Well, at least the people on video, I can see you saying yes. For the people that I can't, like, hopefully you're cool with that. So to prep you guys, I'm going to ask you a question, and then we're going to take just like a 2-minute break, right? Just in case you guys need to go to a bathroom or something, because once we start the intervention, we might stay there for like half an hour or something like that, right? So here's what I want you to do. Think about before you go into your toilet break, okay? Or you just a stretch or whatever you need. The limiting belief that you guys wrote down. So the limiting belief you guys wrote down, so with that, the fear of failing, the imposter syndrome, the competition is better, the criticism, the not being good enough, getting client, am I able to get clients resolved, needing to be perfect. Have some of these, have the special guests kind of helped you when you see their perspective? And maybe leverage off some of those things that you saw those speakers were able to do. And think about what's the opposite of that. So I just want you to think about one key limiting decision that you held, like the biggest one. Think of the biggest one that is causing you to be stuck or where you're at, stopping you from being a top coach, go-to coach, getting premium clients. If you have a different goal, that's okay, insert that in. What's the thing that is stopping you from reaching that version that you want to be? The one that's confident, the one that's brave, the one that's doing the action taking, right? That version. What is the biggest limiting belief? Think of that thing. Just pick one of them. Pick one of them. And then I want you to think about what's the opposite of that. So if you have a fear of failing, the opposite of that is probably like, I only think about success. So you think about Autumn saying, you move forward, right? You think about the success. What is that going to look like? Because she doesn't want to stay in that place. You probably don't want to stay in that place. So, all right, let's take a 2-minute break. On this break, think about the opposite of your limiting belief. And then as soon as you guys are back, we are doing the group breakthrough together. All right, see you in a bit. Are we back yet? How's everybody going? You know what the funny thing is? I can't tell who's back or not back when you don't have your video on. So hopefully people can tell. Oh, Delia, we haven't taken a screenshot either. Oh, Raisa is still here. Hello. Can everyone actually jump on? Let's take a screenshot together. That's the invention. If I see you, it's better if I can see you because I can energy feel you more. This is I suppose this kind of work goes a little bit more in the woo-woo space, right? It is to do with your logical mind, but it is also, we're going to dive into your subconscious mind bit, right? So hopefully you guys are all, where's everybody else? I can't see everybody else. Oh, okay. Don't be camera shy. Yeah, don't be camera shy. Where are you guys? All right. Okay, some people are going to be black screen that we don't get to see your smile. All right. Oh, Richard's coming back. Richard's coming back. Okay. Oh, Deli, you taking a screenshot? Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. So, all right. Have you guys all got the opposite of what your limiting beliefs are? Because you'll need that when I start. Is that a yes, 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 yes? Even if I can't see you, let me know in the comment. Do you know what the opposite of your limiting belief is? Do you need a hand with that? Does anyone need a hand with that? Okay, yes, you need a hand, or yes, you know. So yes for you know, that's a yes, yes, yes. If you need a hand, put help. Put help before we go. Okay, you got 1 minute to ask for help, right? Got it, good. Help. Okay, Sonia, what's your limiting belief?
Should I say it over here or just in the chat?
Oh, no, just call it out.
Okay. I don't know. Sorry.
What's
My
your
limiting belief is I think it's more around perfectionism and imposter syndrome and blaming.
Oh, okay. Blaming, imposter syndrome, and what's the other one?
Blaming, imposter syndrome, and I think it was failing. Yeah.
Failing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, myself, because I can only talk on my own experience, right?
No, that's okay. Yeah.
Failing, my opposite would be like, what has I done that I know that I've been successful at? So there are definitely things that you've once was not good at. Let's say, for example, a car exam, like your license exam, right? So some people may have failed their driving license test before, or when you first start, you're not a good driver, right? You're failing.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what we do, we know we're failing at the beginning. That's just a beginning learners thing. We all suck at the beginning. So it's just knowing that if we're taking a new step, just like driving, we sucked at the beginning. When we get to the roundabout, it's like, shit, what am I doing? Who am I giving way to? There's indicators and I'm checking mirrors and there's head checks, right? There's like, at the beginning, we are failing on all those things, right? But as we do more of that, we know we will succeed. So
I love the analogy actually, because I did fail my first driving test, but then I passed the second one.
And then you passed, right?
Just didn't matter though, I passed. Yeah.
And now you can drive, right? So you know that you will succeed when you keep at that thing, because that thing is important to you. So then when it comes to imposter syndrome, what is imposter syndrome really? Imposter syndrome, I think, tell me if this is a different meaning for you, but imposter syndrome, I think it's when people are thinking that they are showing up as an inauthentic version of themselves, or they are not yet competent at that thing, and they're feeling like they're an imposter, right? Because they're not good yet. So it's like, how am I a coach when I don't feel like I'm a competent coach?
Yeah. Well, I do marketing management, and I'm the only one that's doing it myself. And it's like, when I make mistakes, I feel like there's someone else better that can do it.
Yes.
Except for me. So why am I doing this? There's someone else that would do it better. Yeah.
So similar to what Autumn was telling us, it's like at the beginning, on this journey of entrepreneurship and coaching, we are finding out our own flaws. Basically, we are facing ourselves in that, what are we good at and what are we not good at? So of course, somebody else is going to be better at that thing. Somebody else is going to be better at marketing. Somebody else is going to be better at design. Somebody else is going to be better at video. Somebody else is going to be a better host, right? There's all of these things that somebody is better at. However, on this journey, it's not about being the best. I think this is one of the things that people, what are you doing the best at? There are so many elements you need to be to become a coach, to become a business owner. You're just finding out each one of these aspects, and you are getting better at those aspects. So there is this thing by, there's this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Yeah.
And he says that if you are just 1% better every day on your skills, right? You're just 1% better. And by the end of the year, you're 37 times better. 37. So you know how before you're seeing the screenshots of me, it's like who I was a few years ago and who I am now. It's like, yeah, because you can change 37 times better. And when you think about, well, what is 1%? 1% is literally like, well, before when I talk on the phone, I'm kind of awkward, right? And then now I can do it on the fly. But, you know, being awkward on the fly, it's not like, that's not 1%, that's freaking like 200%, you know what I mean? So the 1% was just like, I'm just willing to press the record button this time, right? That's the 1%. The 1% was like, damn, that line kind of came out sucked. Let's re-record this. Okay, I'm able to say this better now, right? It's like the 1% is the, oh man, my eye contact looked really bad, right? I couldn't even look at the camera lens. I was just looking at myself instead of the camera lens. So there was less engagement, right? So imposter syndrome, we are just moving forward. We know this is the thing we want to do. How do we get better and better every day in a very minute part? So don't put the pressure on yourself. Don't judge yourself. It's just know that I suck right now. I'm not even saying I'm the best coach, right? I'm not even saying I'm the best coach. I'm just saying I'm a coach that shows up here to serve you guys on the Zoom today, right? That's what you do, right? So does that help you, Sonia?
Yeah, it does actually. And it helps me kind of reframe it a little bit in my own head as well, because I have to constantly ask the business owners to do video content. And just by you doing that, I'm always telling him like what you said, like it doesn't matter. It's not about perfectionism, but then I'm doing it to myself internally where I'm expecting perfection.
Yes, expecting perfection. This is another one, especially when you get someone else to do something. Don't expect it to the level of standard that you are doing it. So if you will do it to the standard that you want. The moment you delegate, if someone does it like 70% better, let it go, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I say to them. That's what I say. It doesn't matter. Just do it. It doesn't matter if
Just
it's
do it.
a rubbish video. The more you do it, the better it'll get.
Yes,
but then it's funny because
exactly.
like when I'm editing the content, I'm expecting perfection from me doing it. And it's like, but I've just told him not to do it. And it's funny how it's like a mind fuck. Sorry about the French.
It is. So that's what we want to get rid of, right? So guys, think of one big, so Sonia had 3 here. Blaming
damaged goods.
Blaming is like part of that. That was the example she was doing too. So think of just one, guys, because we'll have to move forward, right? Because we can talk about this a lot. So, all right, guys, so I wanted you to think of just your one main limiting belief. Yeah, you got that? And then you have the flip side of that, yeah? The opposite of what that might look like, just by the kind of example that we have just shared, yeah? Okay, so are you guys comfortable? You guys comfortable? Get comfy in your chair. All right, we're just going to do a quick test. So what we're going to do is dive into, I call it an intervention, but really think of this as a breakthrough, a group breakthrough that we are doing. And we're going to find that event when you created the limiting belief, okay? So in order to do that, we need you to just know that you are aware that you have a timeline for the people that have never heard of this before. So what I'm just going to do quickly is just ask you a question to prepare you so that in your mind you can picture your timeline. So if I were to ask your unconscious mind where your past is and where your future is, and I have an idea that you might say it's right to left or front to back or up to down or in some direction from you in relation to your body, and it's not your conscious concept that I'm interested in, is your unconscious. So if I were to ask your unconscious mind where your past is, what direction would you point? Okay, to the back for a lot of you guys, pointing to the back. Yeah, great. So whichever direction you point, that is totally perfect. This is for you, okay? And so for your future then, what direction would you point? Okay, for forward, for most people, for someone else, it's like, on the side. It could be flip image here. So if one was left, the other one is probably right now. Yeah. So now that you know your past and your future, you guys all know, everyone know where the past and future is. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Seeing the head nods. Okay, cool. So now that you have that in your mind, we can begin. Because in a moment, I'm going to get you to go to the past. So in your mind, you need to be able to imagine that. All right. Are you guys ready? Okay. I will play you a little music so you can get into the mood. All right. All right, share sound. We'll do another bit. Before we dive into that, okay, so everyone, you should have an open mind now. We've been doing this for a little bit. Hopefully you're all warmed up. I know you are. All right. Is it all right for your unconscious mind for you to release this limiting decision today and for you to be aware of it consciously? Say yes in your head or nod if you would like to continue proceeding. Yeah. What is the root cause of this limiting belief? I want you to go back to that moment, back into your timeline, to the earliest possible time when this happened, which when access will allow you to reframe this problem and for it to disappear. If you were to know, was it before, during, or after your birth? If you said before, then is it in the womb or before that? And if it was in your womb, think about what month that was. If it was before that, then was it past life or passed down to you genealogically? If it was your past life, how many lifetimes ago? If it was genealogically, how many generations ago? If it was after, so in this lifetime, what age were you? Now go back to that event in your mind. And I want you to ask yourself, when did you decide that? If you're thinking when it was, ask yourself, when did you decide that? And you will know. There's a time when you decided this, whether it was this lifetime or an earlier time, you decided that limiting decision because someone probably said something to you. And as a result, you decided that limiting belief in your head. So I'd like you to go back to that time in your timeline when you access this memory and reframe it, it will disappear. Do you know the event? Hopefully you guys are all there. You're at that event, yes? See some head nod? Okay, you should be at the event. If you don't know that yet, ask yourself, when did you decide that? That big limiting belief, when did you decide that? Right, you guys ready? I'd like to ask your unconscious mind to float up in the air, above your timeline, and into the past, down into the event. Right down into that event. Yeah, that one. The one when you made that decision. And I want you to notice what emotions are present. And also note if you're aware of that decision that was made there too. Yeah? If you're saying a no, for those of you, because I can't see everyone on screen because some of you guys are not showing up. If it's a no for you, I would like you to rewind that movie of your memory until you come to the time of the decision right now. you should all be at your event now. The moment you made that decision. Yes? Good. Now float up above your timeline and go position yourself just before this event happened. So this event hasn't happened yet. Go back to an earlier time, like 15 minutes before, 1 hour before, 1 week before, 1 year before. You are before this event has occurred. You're standing at your timeline, looking into the future before this has occurred. Well before the beginning of the event or any chain of that event that led to this event. And turn and look, you're looking toward now. Preserve the positive learnings. What are the learnings? What are the learnings? Answer yourself in your mind. What did you needed to know? What is the learning from this event? Who has it allowed you to become? Think about the opposite of this limiting decision that has happened when someone said something that has caused you to make a decision. What is the learning that you haven't got before, but you do now when you are reframing it? The opposite. Yes, run through that event, you picture it in your mind, you know the learning, you know the opposite. Feel the opposite of that. Remember who you wanted to become. New year, new possibilities. 2025, that version you wanted to be. Who do you need to become? What is the learning from that event that will allow you to become this version that you want, where all the possibilities are possible? Now ask yourself, where are the emotions and the decision? Did it disappear? Did all of that disappear too? Now, that emotion, any negative emotion that you had associated with that decision, both of those should have disappeared now. As long as you got your opposite of what that decision was, you will feel that it's gone. Now, once that has happened, I want you to float down into the event, the actual event. Yep, you go into the event when it happened, looking through your own eyes. Check on the emotion. Are they there or have they disappeared? Great. Should have disappeared. That's excellent. That decision too, it should have disappeared. If you are not quite there yet, because usually there'll be a couple of people that's like, oh, yep, we will wait for you. Okay? So if it has not gone for you, what you want to do is take the learning, get the flip side of that, think about the examples we had, right? If it is fear of failing, then what's the opposite? I know that the opposite is, it's not true. I don't fail everything. There are things that I did well, and I did well at them, just like I can drive. I'm not good at everything at the beginning, but I know that I will succeed. I want you to look for evidence to prove this limiting belief is untrue. Because you have the capabilities. When you move forward, you know you have the capabilities. We all have the capabilities. You have the capabilities inside of you. New year, new opportunities. The version you want to be, You can become that. You will become that in 2025. What is the flip side? What is the learning? For the people that's already disappeared, good. Just give us a moment. For everyone else, take the learning. Okay, hopefully everyone's got there now. All right, now, when you are there, you can now come back to now, only as quickly as you can, allow to all the events between then and now to reevaluate themselves in the light of your new choice. And let go of all the negative emotion on those events and the limiting decisions that you made. Preserve the learnings. Come back to position 3. Preserve the learning. Let it go. Let go of any negative emotion. Let go of any negative decision you made. Allow each event to reevaluate themselves all the way back to now. As you are coming back to now, I would like your unconscious mind to allow you to notice at least 3 or more events where you could have had the desired decision, the person that you would want to become, the possibility that you want in 2025. Notice at least 3 or more events where you could have had that success you wanted, but because of the decision, which we just deleted, you didn't notice the possibility earlier, and now you can. You know in 2025, this is the year. This is a new year. This is a new opportunity. So if you couldn't make enough money before, you can make as much as you can now. You can be like our speaker who was broke once, and now she's making 6 times her income. You can be like the others who's once had these problems, and now when you have more abundance, when you have more wealth, those worries disappear. Insert the opposite for you. What is that? Put it in for at least 3 events. Notice them in the past. Things that have occurred before, there were these sliding door moments, events that you know if you could have taken it. Limiting decision, like my Lisa Billiard event. If I may not have sat next to her if I was limiting myself. If I didn't just sit on that chair, I wouldn't have got her phone number. The event wouldn't have happened. These are the moments. Think about the moments where you let that slip by you, but your life could have changed for the person that you want to become in 2025. Right? Have we all got that? Have we all found your at least 3 events where you could have had that desired success that you wish for? But because of the decision you just deleted, you didn't notice the possibility before, but now that you can, because it's a new year, new possibility in 2025. Yes? You guys got that? Got that? Yep. Seeing some head nods. Seeing some smiles. It's good. Right. So now that you have that, I want to ask you, what is happening today? You can now come back into the room, and how do you feel about that old decision of yours? How are we feeling? Let's hear from some of you guys before we jump off. All right, anyone got shares? Put your hands up. How are you guys feeling? All right, Miranda. There's also this golden hand you can pick from the react button. All right, Miranda?
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
I'm feeling excellent. I went back to the place that I seen myself at, and I learned from the trials and tribulations that's now bringing me back to what I want to do and what I want to become. So I have fear behind me, and I'm moving forward in this new year, new opportunity,
Yes.
new career, and I'm not giving up. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Amazing. That is awesome. I'm glad you remembered that. Yes, it's all about awareness. So once you guys remember that, how powerful you are, and that you know you can achieve it, you can. Awesome. Anyone else wants to share? Oh, yes. Can we cut the music? Thank you. My audio isn't working, so I couldn't hear the music myself. Only you guys can. Tech issue. What is... not letting that limit my, showing up though. All right. Any other shares? Sonia. Yes.
Hi. So for me, I thought I had already dealt with kind of like forgiveness for a lot of things that happened within my childhood, and I do forgive my parents actually, but there's been this significant moment that I just thought was nothing, but I always went back to. I was in gymnastics, and my sister was an amazing gymnast, and my sisters and I, my other sisters and I were always trying to be really great at sports because my mom really loved my younger sister and favored her a lot, and she was solely focused on her. And so I always felt like no matter what I did, I was never good enough. And I never felt loved or secure, or it was a safe place for me to express that I'm feeling left out. I couldn't express emotions. And there was this moment where I did a round off back handspring, and I was really proud of myself that I did it. But in order for me to accomplish that, I had starved myself for like 2 or 3 days. I was practicing like 18-hour days to do it. And after I did it, I felt really sick. I was pale and whatnot. And then when I sat down, my mom wasn't even looking at me. She didn't even care. And I always had this moment that I was reliving in my head that I had failed.
Yes.
And that I can never finish anything. I can never do anything right. It doesn't matter. So I've been reliving that over and over and over again. And I keep pushing myself. But it's really interesting that that was what came up, because I was like, wow, I haven't actually healed from that.
What was your reframe?
My reframe was, I did actually succeed.
You did.
I did do it.
Yeah.
I didn't have the love and the empathy that I was expecting, but I can love and empathize with myself and give myself love and be proud of myself.
Yes, exactly.
And care for myself.
Yeah.
And praise myself.
Well done.
Because no one else is going to. It's just you. Yeah.
Well, somebody might, but it's like we don't need.
But don't rely on it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I think so many of us do hold on to some of those things, and it loops in our head.
Yeah.
And we just got to know that, hey, we are our own parent now. We got ourselves. We love ourselves. This is the future that we are building. It is a new year. It is a new possibility. What do we want? It's not about them anymore. We were once a little kid. And yeah, of course we wanted our parents to be proud of us. But I have a similar moment to that. And I do loop back to that a lot before I'd done the internal work. So thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure a lot of people can resonate to, one of the moments that loops in their head. And take this opportunity to reframe that. What is the opposite of that? And take charge of, that it's a new year, new opportunity. What are you going to do about it? So I look forward to spending 2 more days with you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed day 1. And we're going to do more of this tomorrow. So you guys ready for that? To learn more, your capabilities, and then becoming the coach that you want to be? Yeah? All right. Have an amazing day. I will see you same time, same link. So if you were on Eventbrite, it's the same link. So you should all have an email on that. Yeah, so jump on, send that. I will see you then. Bye. See you guys.
Thank you, Carms.
I love that you guys are dancing and I can't hear the music.
Get loose, Carms. Get loose.
We're showing you that it's working.
I'm waiting for the strobe light.
Hey, somebody put it in the room. See you guys.
Yeah.
You guys will take two.
Your dog's like, I was just sleeping, but it's okay. I'll go with you, Mom.
All right, jump it up.
Awesome.
See you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Maren.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Delia. Thanks, Sandy.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rosa, if she's there. For sharing. Hi, Rosanna. Good to see you.
You offered somebody playing?
Are you from St. Fran?